All right, well, good afternoon, everyone. It's my pleasure to introduce you to Katrina Wyckoff, our founder and CEO of Vertica Fitness. Katrina.
Hi, everyone. So nice to see you. So nice to meet you. Really excited to have our session today and go over some things with Vertica and to interact with you guys, as Sean was saying. Would love to kick things off here with a little video. So this is basically an inside peek of the brand. Would love for you guys to watch. So, like I said, just kind of an inside peek of the things that are happening at the studio before we get started there. So on the agenda today, we'll go through some introductions. I will introduce you guys through the slides to our advisory board. We'll do a studio tour. We'll talk about the vision, our launch plan, and then also a day in the life. As Sean said, though, if you guys have questions or you want us to slow down on any part or anything like that, please definitely let us know. So introductions, I'm Katrina. Dennis is not here today, so when we talk about Dennis, Sean will hand that to you. But then we also have Sean and then Michelle and our advisory board. So starting with me, let's see, you guys, I have been doing pole for, let's see, a little over 10 years now. I've been in the studio business for about 20 years, and I just love the difference that it makes in people's lives. I did compete, so I competed all over the world for about 3 years straight, and I won the national championships in 2017. I competed at many world championships, came in number 9 in the world, so that was super fun. And then was also the delegate to the World Games where we presented pole to the Olympic Committee. I also run the U.S. Pole Sports Federation, which is the governing body of pole sport here in the U.S. And then I'm also the vice president of POSA, which is the International Federation. I am working very closely with the IOC in bringing pole to the Olympics, definitely this is about so much more than the Olympics. It's about really the difference that it makes in people's lives, about the empowerment that it brings people, the body positivity. And yeah, so that's me. Hi. And then Dennis, Sean, will you go ahead and tell us about Dennis?
I'll put my best Dennis face on. Really, Dennis is truly a rock star in franchise development, and as you can see in his background, launched Home Care Assistance, Junk King, WaveMax, and others. We were really excited when we were actually introduced to Katrina by Mike Roberts, the founder of WaveMax, and learned about what her historical success, launching her own studios, where she's taking and at the forefront of leading this sport and program, and really fell in love. And this to me was that ideal partnership of this rock star in franchising, this amazing rock star leader in the pole fitness world, coming together and launching Vertica Fitness. As Dennis would say, attest, if he were here, this is probably going to be his biggest brand ever. As we grow, there's studios across the country, typically sort of hobby type things, but under Katrina's leadership, we're going to open up probably 1,500 over the course of years and grow in every market. Everyone needs pole and this exposure to this amazing opportunity. Now I'll go and talk about me. See, I tried to put on the Dennis face. Frankly, I just grab onto their coattails and go for the ride. I'm the numbers nerd, really behind the scenes, looking at P&L, forecasting, enrollment, demographic support. I'm an ops guy, and it's awesome to be there to support our owners. Like right now, we're looking at spaces. Katrina was just out here in Northern California, looking in Oakland and Danville, getting letters of intent out there, wonderful demos, great spaces, negotiating leases. We're looking at Denver right now, northwest part of that, and really helping. We love the passion, we love the energy, we love the excitement, but frankly, I love the money. This is a highly profitable business, and so I want to tee people up for great success, and that's fundamentally behind the scenes my role, and I'm here to support everybody through their franchise discovery and post-opening too. I don't just say, hey, have fun, but I'm here for you. Thanks, Katrina.
Thank you. Awesome. And so would love now to open it up for you guys to introduce yourselves. I love the little line that it says on the slide here of look around you at this event, participants might be your future peers. I think that's super significant because as we've been doing these virtual discovery days now, it really is true that the people that you're on this call with may become your new business besties as you're going into entrepreneurship here. And
Uh-oh.
We just lost her.
opportunities.
We just lost her. Katrina, you just broke up. You said business besties. Can you, we'll go back to.
Yeah. Okay. So, am I okay now?
You're good.
Okay, great. So anyways, business besties. But as you guys introduce yourselves, please give your name, your location, and then we would really love to hear what is it that, as why are you on this call today as far as Vertica? What is it that is resonating with you? What is it that you have identified with this brand? And then just a fun fact or an interesting story, something to help us get to know you guys a little bit better. And we can start with Vera.
Hi, everyone. My name is Vera, and I live in North California, Roseville. What brings me into the idea to have a business, I work for corporate like many, many years, and I'm super tired of it. I want my life back. I want to be myself, the owner. I'm like current job I'm holding now is like stressing me out so bad that I really just want to run away and do something. I need money, I need to survive, but also I want to do something meaningful. As I talked to Michelle already, I did pole like sport back in Russia when I used to live there. I was doing those classes, like taking those classes maybe like for a couple, maybe 3 years, and I've never been in the best shape of my body.
Yeah.
I was like, of course there was bruises and stuff like that, but oh my God, I was like in such a good shape. And as Katrina said, this is really important for people, right? This is our health, basically, right? The better your shape, right? The better you feel, and they're more energized, which I really like. I've been thinking I would go to those classes if I would have them like nearby. I would go. So this is why I'm here and listening to you and curious.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. That's awesome.
We call all of ththose bruises, we call them pole kisses.
Yeah.
That's
It's
pretty
worth
cool.
it.
Yeah.
Such an honor. Thank
Yep.
you, Vera. And then Donanne.
Hi, my name's Donnie Kelly. I am in Austin, Texas. And much like Vera just commented on about being in corporate America, I've been in pharmaceutical sales for the last 20 years here in Austin, and I am tired of the game. I'm tired of the corporate muck and not being able to do what I need to do to drive business. And the industry's changing. Plus, it's just time for something new. I have a dance background from high school and college. I have never done pole, but I'm very interested in it and would like to. Another reason I'm looking into moving on with a new phase of my life is I just recently got over a frozen shoulder, had that and dealt with that for 2 years. And I'm back now. And again, I want to get strong and healthy. I used to be a yoga person in and out, and I loved it. And I haven't been able to do that for a while due to my shoulder injury. And I think part of that is because of my career that I've been driving in a car and working and not being able to take care of my body like it needed to be taken care of. So I kind of relate to the video and what everybody talks about everybody belongs. That is important. I think Austin is a great market. It's a college town. There's lots of opportunity here. Like Sean said, I do need to make money though. I think all of us do. It would be something that maybe I could eventually maybe hold on to my career for a little bit and get a studio up and running, and then maybe just jump in full force, because it is time to take care of myself and think about the future. So I'm excited about the opportunity, and I've been in and out of this for the last few months working with Michelle, but I'm back in now and really wanting to dig in and learn more. I'm actually going to do a site visit in San Antonio next week with Nicole. So I'm very excited about that, to get to go visit with her. And she and I've been talking, and I'm anxious to see her studio. Fun fact about myself, my name is Dawn Ann. It is one word, D-O-N-A-N-N, as you see on the screen, but it is my dad and my mom's name put together. So I think that's very unique. And so that's a fun fact about me. So thank you for having me, and I look forward to learning more.
Super cool. Thank you for sharing. Awesome. And then Bill.
Hello, everyone. So my name's Bill Biller. I'm located in Orange County, California.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Sorry. I have to give it up to the OC.
Yeah, I can just see you ready to get out here, right?
Yep.
Good. So, for me, I think it's a common theme, right? I mean, corporate America kind of grinds you down. And, I'm finding more, I have a couple of boys, I'm finding more and more having to make compromises between involvement in their life and school and, sports practice and whatnot, and then the work that I need to do, for my career. So, I think that's my big driver is, I want to be able to have more control over my schedule, more control over my priorities, and this seems like a great potential approach to do so. And then I think in general, as far as how I connect with the brand, I think in the day and age of Facebook and Instagram and, all of the digital pressures that everyone's under, from an image standpoint, I think a message of body positivity is very much needed. And so for me, that's kind of where it resonates. I got into medical devices because I always wanted to have a positive impact on the world. And I see this as another potential way of doing that. Making people feel more confident in themselves and more comfortable in their own skin, I think is a great way for people to be. And then fun fact or interesting story. Last week, I took my boys to a dude ranch and rode horses and herded cattle and did a whole bunch of outdoorsy things, which I don't know. I mean, for me, I grew up in Texas and Utah in a very rural environment, but my kids have grown up in Orange County. So you know, they don't have a lot of opportunities to see cows and horses and those types of things. And on the last day that we were there, we had the opportunity to go shoot rifles. And my 13-year-old son had never shot a gun before. And the guide, after going through all the safety and how to do it, my son picked up the rifle and basically outshot me. He was more accurate. And we did like a little competition on, kind of shooting targets, and he hit 8 of them and I hit 7 of them. So he, for the last week, he's just been being like, "Hey Dad, remember that time I beat you?" And he's like, all that first person shooter video games is really paying off. You say it's not worth anything, but I beat you. And so it's kind of fun for him to, be able to pick something up and do well at it. So.
Oh, Bill, it doesn't get better. My son's 17 now, and I hit 50. He's getting better at me than me at a lot of things. So that's your first of many.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a question though. You're fairly close to Caitlin's studio. Have you had the chance? I know Diane just shared that she's going to go visit Nicole. Are you going to hop in the car and go down to San Diego?
Yeah, so we had a conversation. I attended her kind of meet and greet session. I forget what you call them. I want to say 2 weeks ago or maybe 3 weeks ago, and we had a great conversation. And she's like, "Oh yeah, come down." I'm like, "Okay, cool. I can come in. Can I go and see what it's like?" And she said, "Well, you can sign up for a class. Like, we don't let people just watch," which totally makes sense. So yeah, she definitely was very opening and welcoming. So I'm definitely plan to set some time up over the coming, month or so to get down there and check it out.
Cool.
Great. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for sharing that. I love hearing all of the stories and everything. And really and truly, the reason that as we franchised, right, originally this program was just all about the empowerment for the students, for the clients. But as we've franchised, it's been so fun to see the empowerment now for the business owners, as these business owners have been able to really realize their potential and step into that and be able to take control of their lives, being able to transition from other corporate jobs and that kind of stuff. So you're in the right place. The next part of our team that I would love to share with you guys is our advisory team. And so as I'm going through these people, what I want you to know about the advisory team is that they exist really because we believe so much in what we're trying to do, in what we are doing. And I knew as we brought this brand forward and we said, hey, we're going to open all these studios and do all this stuff, I wanted to have the very best in every single part of the industry come together in order to be able to make sure that this brand reaches its potential. And so that's who you'll see here. So the first person that I'd love to tell you about is Scott Martin. And Scott Martin is an author, world-renowned brand strategist, marketer, worked with some huge names, huge companies. And then he's also part of the Platinum Partnership. He and I are both platinum partners within the Tony Robbins group. And so that's how I met Scott. And we spent, it says 4 months, I think it was more like 6 months, you guys, where I was getting up at like 4:30 in the morning and working with Scott 2 hours every day. And we were going through like every single bit of the brand, so that these things that were in my heart and the things that I saw in the studio, we would be able to present that in a way that made sense and was just really understandable and had that high professional quality from the very beginning. And so I just love having Scott on our team because, like I said, he helped us to be able to be brave in our messaging and be super sincere in our messaging, and to be able to, I say that like now, of course, we have all of this great marketing, which we'll talk about more later, but the brand is really like holding up this standard to the world as far as this is who we are and this is what we believe, and it then acts like a magnet for our people to find us. And so being able to do that work at the beginning has set up the brand for such great success. So really grateful that we have Scott. And Michelle, you guys have met Michelle. She's everyone's best friend, also mine. And I'm so honored that she's been able to come a part of the team, and she's been with us forever. Michelle, I would love for you to talk a little bit about not just your role within helping people within the franchise, but within Vertica also.
Yeah. Hey guys, good to see you again. So I have been with Vertica for almost a decade, before we were even Vertica. And I do absolutely everything. I was a competitive pole sport athlete. I still coach at Vertica because I cannot get enough. I'm also an international judge for pole and aerial sport competitions. And so I kind of have a little piece of absolutely everything. I have done every role with Vertica, managed a studio, all of that great stuff. When I found out they were getting ready to franchise, I told Katrina when she sold her first franchise to call me, and I was going to quit my career. I was a fitness and wellness director, and come back full force. And here I am. I'm so excited to be a part of it, but I am truly stay because I believe in the brand. I take it very personal. I have a 16-year-old daughter. I pray that she never grows up feeling about her body the way that we were taught to feel about ours. And our mission is so important and so needed. And so I'm grateful not only to get to meet everybody in the beginning of their journey as far as franchising, but to be able to stay connected throughout your whole time with us. So happy to be here.
Thank you, Michelle. And I think Michelle's doing the international head judge training this weekend, and then we'll be heading off to Greece to judge one of the world championships. So
Fun.
Wow.
she's legit.
Thank
Some other
you.
people, I'll go a little bit faster through some of these slides, but we have Sarah Foley, who is our adaptive fitness specialist. As you guys can see, she's in a wheelchair. She's paralyzed from the waist down. She specializes in helping to make fitness accessible to everyone, which really seeing that in action, I don't do private lessons anymore, but I did take on a client just recently in order to, she had asked me to, but this particular client has no arms. And I am helping her get ready to compete for nationals. And so really and truly, like, we have done the work to make sure that our brand is really truly accessible for every single person. And it has been such a beautiful experience for me to see all of these people, have them come in, and they're already rock stars, you guys. The woman that I'm working with no arms is one of the coolest people I've ever met anyways. But being able to see them come in to feel empowered, feel sexy, feel strong, whatever it is that they're needing in that moment is such a beautiful thing. Marco Mendez, he is definitely the photographer within the pole industry. I'm sure you guys understand that it takes a special talent in order to capture pole, and he's got it. And so we hired Marco. He's part of our team at Vertica to not only get those beautiful images, but then also to be able to represent the true diversity and inclusivity within the brand. Because when we first launched, you guys, it was literally, we wanted to use like super professional pictures within the brand, of course, because why would you not want that? And so I was using a lot of stock pictures at first, and they are all of very thin white women in their 20s. And it's like, okay, that said to me, first of all, that still in society, that is the only thing that we're saying is beautiful. But also, that's like all that's worthy of being in a stock picture? No, of course not. And so that's one of the things that we actually really have worked on, is being able to show the true beauty and the diversity of the clients within the brand. Sabrina Madsen, she's a 3-time world national champion. She's got some world champion titles in there also. She has her master's degree in science in sports medicine and is a certified strength and conditioning specialist. So she's got all the fancy titles after her name, but she helped us as we launched our curriculum. We're so, so proud because our curriculum, it's not like, hey, just go have a good time. Well, I mean, it is, hey, just go have a good time, but it's very structured as far as like when you're having that good time, you're doing specific things. It's safe and it's effective. And so Sabrina came and really took all of her degrees and made sure that our curriculum was just top notch. We also have Melvin Sanchez, who helps. He's a multi-world champion. He's amazing. He's so good at pole, but he helps our competition team. And so all of the different locations, making sure that they've got the knowledge that they need in order to really someday go to the Olympics, right? We also have Phoenix Khosri, who's one of our brand ambassadors. She toured with the Lion King for like 13 years, you guys, some super really long time. She is one of the most beautiful dancers I have ever seen. And she takes that just, you know, huge ballet background and helps do a lot of the choreography within the brand, making sure that that dance technique is just perfect. So super proud of that. One more person, we just added her. So before I go to this one, we don't have a slide yet for her, but her name is Roz the Diva, and she describes herself, these are her words, as a overweight black bald woman. But she's beautiful, she's amazing, and she is such a force of nature. She comes in and she's done this huge training for us. Oh, by the way, she works for Fitbit. She does a bunch of videos for Fitbit. She's worked very closely with Will Smith and Fitbit. So she's a world famous personal trainer, but she also does a lot of work within the plus size industry as far as helping the fitness to be accessible for plus size athletes. And so we have a training from Roz to help all of our coaches that come through Vertica to be able to safely and effectively help our plus size clients.
So Katrina, don't go to the next up. You went fast. What I like highlighting, right, as you went through really our extended team is not only do I get to work with, you know, amazing founder with Katrina and Dennis in the franchise world, Katrina took all the good pieces off the playing board, right? Is we will be imitated at some point, but when you've got the U.S. champions, the all ability, all our plus size, the best photographer on the planet in pole, and everything that are really part of our extended team, it's amazing. And we built that foundation from day one as we grow to now how we're growing nationally. Go ahead, Katrina. I like sharing that. There will be imitators, but nobody can ever touch what we built.
Thank you. And you guys, I was just in the Baltimore area 2 weekends ago for the International Pole Convention. And it was so funny because it wasn't funny. It was very purposeful in that here are all of these hundreds and probably a couple thousand people that were there for the event. And here at the Vertica booth are all of the big names coming up to say hello because they're part of the brand. So anyways, super fun. Here we go. Growing coast to coast. Here are our franchisees. We do have many, as you guys can see. We have 17 locations that are contracted in the works or open. So we have I'll just go through them quickly. I think, Sean, this is probably one of the last times we'll name them all individually as we're growing, huh?
Yep.
So we have Mariah and Johnny Ann in California, Kelsey, Caitlin in San Diego, Kelsey, who's in Las Vegas, Jasmine, who's in Tucson, Mauricio, who's in Salt Lake, and you guys, some of you guys met Nicole, Andrea, Cami, Nick and Vicky Scott, and Christina. So super great people. All of them are just amazing. Some people with huge careers in corporate already. Caitlin's like an absolute rock star in the tech industry. Christina graduated from Harvard. Like we just got huge, super talented people already. And so it's really fun to see them all coming together and helping to build this brand.
When's Kelsey opening her second studio?
I drove by it when I was coming home. It will be in July.
Wonderful. So out in Vegas, Kelsey actually owns all of Vegas Metro. So we'll be opening 5 to 7 studios over time.
Yep. So, and she's amazing. Cool. So any questions so far? I know we've talked a lot. Do you guys have any questions before we go on to the next part? Okay, next is studio tour. So this is this bringing back the curtains, peeking inside at Vertica. I am going to play a video for this studio tour. The video is of our Tucson location. This is a double unit and it's in a flex versus where I am is Oro Valley right now, which is a single unit. Okay, so let's watch the video and then if you guys have questions, we'll go through them. Hi, I'm Katrina, owner of Vertica Fitness, and I'd love to invite you inside my studio. This is our lobby. You'll notice we've got plenty of space in here, room for people to come while they're waiting for classes. In addition, right away when people walk in, they see our slogan here, our motto of every body belongs. We've got our beautiful purple couch. This is a flex space that has 2 pole rooms. So let's take a look in the first pole room. This pole room is around 800 square feet and it has 9 poles. The poles are approximately 12 feet tall and the ceiling has about 14 feet of clearance. The poles are around 7 feet apart, which gives enough room for the students to come in and pole without kicking each other while still maximizing the amount of space and usage of the studio. These are competition grade loop-it poles. These ones, we do have a couple of different metals. Different students prefer different metals. So this one is brass. We also have stainless steel. These poles use the quick connect and click connect, which means they're on static. And then with just this little twist down here, they can go to spin. So nice high-tech poles make it really a great experience for the students. These poles are all mounted with a truss. So the truss system is definitely something that will be in every location, and it makes it so that it provides just really high quality safety for hooking the poles up while not requiring structural engineers. So safety is always top priority, making sure these poles are really nice and stable. A couple other things in here, several fans. It's important that the students are able to stay cool while they're taking classes. That helps them, of course, to stay comfortable, but also to be able to stay on the pole. This room is a flex space, and so because of that, this one has the curtains, which besides being beautiful, they also are functional in that they help to provide some noise cancellation and also some insulation in this particular building. We've got our beautiful Vertica Fitness logo here. In addition to, we also have above the mirrors the logo of every body is beautiful, every body belongs, and every body can go vertical. Each room also has a stereo, some fun lights, and each room has cubbies, just real simple cubbies where the students can come and put their belongings. In addition to, there is bottles with rubbing alcohol, and then backups of rubbing alcohol and towels. So those are the main things that we're going to stock in each room, making it so that the students are able to stay clean and sanitize their poles. Coming back through here, just a couple more things about the lobby. We want to make it really nice and inviting, and there's not really a need for a receptionist because everything is done online as far as booking and all of the sales and everything like that. And so this place can just be really homey and inviting. We do have, though, our boutique. And so within the boutique, there's a couple of things that we want to make sure we stock so that we're able to provide these things for our students. We have pole grip, we have some different gloves and some knee pads. Then we also have some really fun pole outfits. The students love these. These particular ones are made by Grata Designs. The students love them. And then also tank tops. The tank tops we sell, in addition to their frequently used for promotions and giveaways. Everything in the boutique is self-service, and so it's just run off of QR codes. The students come over, they can run the QR code, check out from their accounts online, and of course everything is videoed. We do have security cameras if there were ever an issue, but you know, these are your clients, so they're going to take good care of you. Coming through here, this is the second pole room, and very similar setup to the other one. We again have the 9 poles around 7 feet apart, hooked up by the truss system. We've got logos, and yeah, in each room is also going to have some yoga mats. They're going to have pole mats, and again, the same thing as far as rubbing alcohol, towels, and backups for that. Each room does have a bathroom, making sure that that's handicap accessible, making sure it's a place where everybody belongs. So thank you so much for coming on our tour of Vertica Fitness. So let's see. Just gonna go back to this slide for a minute. Here in Oro Valley, there's there's not much to see besides what was already shown in the video, which actually I'm super proud of that, in that this is a really simple build out. This room is 20 feet by 60 feet. I'm in a shopping center here, and yeah, it's basically got 12 poles, and so very similar, but I love that it's a simple build out. Do you guys have questions as far as build out?
I have a quick question. I attended Kelsey's kind of call where she was talking about her plans and her expansion plans, and one of the things we were asking her is, you know, okay, you did it one time. What are you planning to do, you know, the second time based on learnings between build out number 1 and build out number 2? And one of the things she had recommended, and she said, I wish I had have done this, was to have a 3rd row of poles in her studio. And I guess her plan is on the second build out to do that. What's your perspective on that? Should that be something that's considered moving forward? And why?
Yeah, great question. So it really just depends on your particular footprint. And so like her new studio, she has 2 rooms, and she'll have 2 rows in one, and then I think she's actually going to have 1 row in the other room. And so it really depends on your footprint. I think she was talking about she wishes she had squeezed in 3 rows into her initial one.
Okay.
And so yeah, that it really, so here's the answer, is that you make money off of poles. So you can see that, like, I've got poles pretty much the whole way, because that's where I make money. So we try and avoid it. If you have room for a lobby and you want to wall off a lobby, you can. That is okay. But for the most part, we want to utilize the space for as many poles as possible versus building out, you know, all of these extra rooms, because what people want is they want a pole.
Mm-hmm.
Great question though. Any other questions?
I have one other.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I'm seeing multiple logos on my screen right now. I see the one on your slide presentation, which is the purple V, white backing. On Sean's, I see blue background, and on Michelle's, I see a different one. What's the official one, and how often does it change?
Great question. So when we did the full brand build out, we actually have a suite of about 15 different types of logos that are included. So the official logo is this one right here. In addition to, we have the horizontal version, which is on my shirt, and then there behind Sean. So those are the 2 official ones. Michelle has it's still part of our suite of logos, which is a Team Vertica logo. So basically all of the different parts of our brands, we have official, like the Fit, Flirt, and Fly. There's a logo for that. Like every part of the brand has a logo. And then actually the locations have logos too, which was done with the intention, and we're seeing this happen, kind of like a Hard Rock Cafe where people want to go and they want to get the t-shirt and take a picture. We have, let me grab it. Hold on one second.
Each of the locations, though, the one that you're seeing on Katrina's screen right now, the shared screen, that one will be on each location with your city underneath.
Yeah,
Got it.
so these are the city logos, and it's basically the logo with a circle and then the name. And we are seeing this for sure happen already, where people, when one of the locations opens, everybody's like, bring me back a t-shirt. And then as they've gone to the other locations, they make sure to buy a t-shirt, buy a tank top, buy a water bottle. They want to make sure that they've got all of the different brand. So it's kind of fun.
Okay.
I've even had students like offer me $50 to buy one of the tank tops that I was wearing and sweating in because it was a black one from San Diego and they had never seen it before. So they really are a good moneymaker for the studios.
Mm.
And it's
I
fun
didn't
too,
give it
just
to
with the
her.
culture. It does say a lot about the culture as far as people want to be a part of it. Cool. Any other questions?
So I have a quick question for you.
Yeah.
How long, I've been on a couple of the discovery calls, like with Nicole and the gal from San Diego, and I can't remember her name. Is it Kelsey?
Caitlin.
Caitlin in San Diego.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. How long does a build out usually take? Soup to nuts. I mean, finding the space, getting what you need, having,
Yes.
I mean,
The longest
process.
part is finding the space. And so that does take a little while, partly just because we want to make sure we set you up for success.
Right.
And so the franchisees that have really been much more self-motivated as far as going out and finding locations have found their locations much faster than those that have not. And, you know, everybody moves on their own timeline. We honor that. That's totally fine. But then as far as the build out goes, that can take anywhere from 30 days to 90 days. And I guess, you know, if you had to do a bunch of demolition or build from concrete or something, it could take longer. But I mean, overall, it's a pretty simple build out. So the things that would take longer would be if you had to redo plumbing, or you know, you decided to rent a place that was a dentist's office with a bunch of rooms or something. Or like I said, concrete. We have had some that are like literal concrete and not built out at all. Those will obviously take longer.
Okay.
On that, let's take a little peek inside the classes. So first of all, let's talk real quickly about the different types of classes. So Fit, Flirt, Fly is our offering. And then within that, the fit classes, we have the strength and conditioning classes. Those are very much, if you could imagine a like HIIT class, but that's done with a pole. And so there's a lot of pull-ups and push-ups and different things like that that are done with the pole. Then we have V-Flex, which is a flexibility class. Then within the flirt category, we have Flirty Fitness, which is, I mean, they're all my babies, but Flirty Fitness was my baby. It was one of the very first classes that I created and really was what made the business take off. And it's basically, honestly, there's nothing else like it in the industry. But it's, if you could imagine a Zumba class done in high heels with a pole. So it's so fun. It is a crazy workout as far as cardio and that kind of stuff. But basically people come in, the lights go low, the music goes on, and the choreography is very easy to follow, but people just dance and they look forward to those classes the most. We also have Videography, which is much more a traditional type of dance class. Sometimes they're doing very beautiful, lyrical type classes. Phoenix Cosry, the girl who did Lion King, she just did a beautiful contemporary piece for us. And sometimes they're sexy. So I definitely want to make sure that you guys all know there is definitely a sexy side to the brand. We're very proud of that. It's a very important part, just like there are sexy sides to everybody. And so, but yeah, I want to make sure we know that. The next class is that V flow, which is freestyle and flow. So just another opportunity for people to come into class, feel beautiful, and move around the pole. Then the fly classes, we have 4 different levels. And so people are always pulling with people that are their same level. And those are the tricks and the spins. Okay, those are the things where they're learning to do, sometimes it's just a simple spin. The elite classes, they're doing how to do a backflip. Okay, maybe not that, but that type of stuff. And we do have some very, very advanced pullers within the studio. So anyways, here's a little video. I'll play the video. It's just a few minutes long, but definitely watch and see if you can pick out the different types of classes. So, do you guys have any questions? Do you guys have any questions before we go on to the next part? Any questions on the classes? I was going to say that one of the things is that the entire curriculum is really built, like I said, with the intention of making sure that we are really taking care of our clients. Each one of those categories, like they're all fitness classes, they're all pole classes, but each one of them, like the fit classes, they're really working to build that strength, that flexibility. The flirt classes, they're helping to build that body positivity. And then the fly classes, they're building their confidence as they're doing, going through checklists and learning these moves. And so all of those are done with the intention of helping our clients get that ultimate goal of helping them to get in the best shape of their lives, and not just physically, but also mentally and emotionally.
I have a quick question. You were mentioning, choreography, like new classes and new coursework is being kind of created over time. What's the process on driving that to each of the franchises?
Yeah.
Sure that, the coursework or the you know, the choreography is current and continuously evolving.
Yeah, absolutely. So uh, is okay, so I think there's kind of two parts to your question, or two things that should at least be addressed. Is one is, how is the choreography being created and all of that kind of stuff. We've got some amazing choreographers that are constantly creating. In addition, we do have many of our coaches that do contract work, and it's a beautiful thing. It's so fun and exciting as these coaches from the different locations, they're creating content. They are getting paid for that content, and then gets dispersed. And then the mechanism of actually dispersing the content, we have something called the Vertica Circle Network. It's amazing. So it's basically our online platform. It's on something called Mighty Networks. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of Mighty Networks, but it is fantastic. And so it's basically an online platform where we upload the choreography, and then the different coaches get access to it. That's also where our checklist lives. That's also where a lot of the training lives. Does that answer your question?
It does. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Cool. So talking about our vision next, our vision is to build one of the most desirable franchise brands, growing strong to over 1,500 studios around the world and establishing vertical fitness as a globally respected sport led by us. So for sure, working to take this to the Olympics, working to make this much more accessible to so many people. And but the reason for this and why I love to talk about this is because our mission is so strong, and that's to create a space where everybody belongs, is beautiful, and can go vertical. And so much of this really has to do with the way that I have seen this impact the lives of our clients. And I know we're talking about this a lot, but it just really is true, you guys. The clients, when they walk through the door, they're already amazing. They're already so cool, but everybody has a story. And when they come in, they are taken into this place where they're accepted and truly belong, and they're able to really blossom. And I have had so many clients literally, okay, so when people start pole, there's one thing that they always say, and they always say like, oh, well, I don't think I have any upper body strength, you know, like they say things like that. And it's like, no, we got you. We're going to help you. It's okay. But on the other side of that, after they've been doing pole, you hear something from everyone again. But this time what you hear from people is, you literally saved my life. They say that over and over and over again. And for some of those people, like, they actually mean it metaphorically, of course, in that they have come in and they've found so much empowerment. They've made changes in their life because of that, maybe leaving a toxic relationship, starting a new career, you know, improve their health. And so they're just so grateful for the change that has occurred since doing the program. But there are also many people who really do mean that literally, in that they were coming in on some of their darkest and hardest days, and we provided for them that sanctuary and that ability to see themselves in a new life, which really did completely help them to change their life in such a beautiful way. We also have many clients who deal with chronic conditions, who have not just some mental health things that they're working through, but they have some physical health things that they're working through. And as they come to this program and they do strength training and they do these things, they have that new lease on life where they're able to go and do and participate in many activities that they love again because their health has improved so much. So let's talk about business ownership. Okay. So one of the things that I have prioritized in my life is mentorship. And that is constantly trying to be around people who are doing the things that I want to do, who are creating the types of life that I wanted to create. And so as we built out this business plan, that was something that was really important to me, is that as you guys come into this business, it's not just here's a manual and a high five and good luck. right? It really is the opportunity to come and be a part of a group of people and have that support so that you can truly bring your business to its full potential. So although you're in business for yourself, you're never in business by yourself. So talking about the launch plan, taking you from signing all the way through to your beautiful ribbon cutting. So what happens? So you sign your franchise agreement, okay? The next part is, depending on how long site selection takes, somewhere between 90 to 120 days. If you go faster in site selection, you can get more to that 90 days. If you take longer, it could take longer. But so you've got from the time that you sign, you do site selection, your build out, your recruiting and your training, we do your marketing, and then grand opening. So I'll go through a couple of these things, and feel free to ask questions if you guys have questions. So for site selection, you guys saw the tours, seen the buildings, but basically we're looking for light industrial or that flex space or retail. Both are fine. Super great in strip malls. Think of places where you would see an Orange Theory. Okay, that's OTF, Orange Theory Fitness. And then as part of that, we provide for you guys demographics. The magic to making this business work is in having strong demographics, which luckily all of you guys are coming from places where there are amazing demographics. But yeah, so we want to go in places that have people. We also have for you a national real estate team that has they know everything about the brand as far as what we need. And then they have local boots on the ground who you will get to work with personally in order to help you find your location. And they'll help with that lease negotiation, making sure not only do you have a place that like the location's great and the size, but that you get a good lease. Just some more on site selection. These are the different demographics. What I want to highlight from here is that, and this is showing the Oro Valley location and the Tucson location, so the two locations that I run. What I want to highlight is they are so different from each other. I'm looking out into the parking lot and there's a BMW, a Lexus, a Tesla. The other day there was like a group of Ferraris. They must have been having some meetup that was going on.
Admitted Oro Valley's bougie.
Yeah.
They're very similar to like Roseville, like parts of Roseville, Rockland. I think Bill, we get into like coastal areas around you. And then
it's the Orange County, it's fun.
It is. And Midtown's night and day different. I mean, like that median household income, sorry, the numbers nerd tags in, way like higher population density, younger, median household income is only $45K. And it's really where people are, living and going to work. And both are fantastic studios. And so when we look at where do we open, we go deep on the numbers. These are just some of the demographics that we're looking at. And, when you look at the clientele, different studios are going to attract different clientele. But short story is it works really well in both of these very disparate types of demographic areas.
Perfect.
I have a question. So thinking about the Oro Valley and the Midtown, like over the last year, what's the average number of subscribers or attendees or people that have, in each of these?
Bill, I'm so handcuffed.
Yeah,
All right, so we're dying to tell you.
Okay. So we can't.
I'm going to tell you how you get it. Donann is in great shape. So I'm going to digress from the franchise side. Every year we have to file our new FDD, and there's 13 registration states. California, where I too live, is one of those registration states. They haven't approved our new FDD yet. Our numbers, our growth, our run rate, Donann has it. Just Bill and Vera don't have the new FDD. Yeah, Katrina, go ahead and throw out the numbers. We're talking to Diane, not to Bill. Nobody lives in California.
Earmuffs, the earmuffs.
Exactly,
That's
earmuffs.
funny.
No, it's fine. I don't want to put you in a difficult spot. I can wait, be patient. I think it's
Oh,
just
I'll tell Diane.
curious. Because Kelsey,
I will. I'll point you to where to pull it pretty
Okay.
easy. But it should be approved any moment. It's what's driving me nuts. We just go into this sort of holding pattern, but we didn't want to stall that out on your discovery. So as soon as it's approved, I will have it in your inbox. But it's been
Katrina, do you
fantastic.
have
My biggest
exact
message is
numbers?
you could tell I'm chomping at the bit, because what Katrina did is, right, she had Tucson Pole and then went through that amazing branding experience and everything that she did with Scott. And then we launched and then applied that to her own studios. And each of them has more than doubled since becoming Vertica. And so when you're looking at my old FDD, yeah, all right, cool. It's good numbers, but now it's great numbers. So I will get it to you. And also super importantly, when you talk to our franchise owners, Caitlin, Kelsey, Nicole, et cetera, they're opening with really strong numbers and they're growing their businesses too. Those are also in our new FDD. So it's pretty cool to be able to include their numbers in there too.
Yeah. And
For even a partial year.
the bottom line and why we even have this slide is that they both do great. So they're extremely different, night and day different, but they both have great populations and they both do amazing. So point
Midtown's
is,
always going to be a higher performer based on population density.
Yep.
It's a numbers thing, and it outperforms Oro Valley because frankly, there's 277,000 people there, and there's only 607,000 people in Oro Valley. But Oro Valley, it's one of the fastest growing markets in all of Tucson. With all those homes going up, no more desert. It's all going to be a sea of homes. It'll grow up there as they have more population.
No.
Yeah.
And so Studio Basic build out, you guys, is again, like my motto is I want things simple, sleek, and sophisticated. And so with that, it's this simple build out. We want around 1,200 for a single unit. We want around 1,200 square feet, high ceilings, and an open floor plan. We come in and, well, your contractor will come in and put in laminate flooring, your mirrors, your truss systems, your poles, and the branding package, and you've got a studio. Digital build out. So in addition to your physical build out, we will help you with, we'll walk you through the digital build out. So you'll have a specific web page on our website for your location. We have tons of digital marketing collateral. We'll give you an email address. We use Wellness Living is our accounts receivable. It's our software for managing the studio. Then we talked a little bit about the Vertica Circle network. It's seriously so great. You guys feel free to join it, verticacircle.com, and check out all the different things that we have. And one of them is that we build out a location group. So it's kind of like a Facebook group, but it's on this private network. For your location. And so like in Salt Lake right now, Mauricio is starting to build out he's not open yet, but he's putting people into his network. And so they're coming and they're getting all of the free content and just staying connected even before he's even open. Next, we go through recruiting. So ads, basically, you guys, in all of your markets, there are going to be so many people already who do poll and they know that we're coming. So an example is we just opened in Atlanta, or we just announced Atlanta, and she's had 3 people within minutes say, hey, I want a job. And they're super qualified people too. And people in Boston who are asking for jobs. So if one of you guys were coming from like some random hole in the ground, we still have a plan for that. We could still help you to find pole fitness instructors, but there are going to be plenty of people in your area who are already qualified. And so then it's just a matter of teaching them our methodology. Which brings to the training. We do have on-demand virtual training that you and your instructors, your coaches can start basically whenever you guys are ready for that. And so just tons of resources. It makes it really nice for as you're onboarding new coaches, they can go through that same virtual learning. And there's also like the Vertica Business Success Method, which is where I'm going through the different aspects for you as a studio owner of what you need to know. So there's a course for that. And then we also have in-person training, and the in-person training is so fun. It is such a wonderful experience. Kelsey just booked hers. She's coming with 7 people in July. She's bringing all of her new team, and it's like this huge experience where they become super connected. They become connected to the brand and tons of knowledge, and then they go home and they're ready to really build that culture. So tons of insight or in-person training also. And then we'll come to your studio and continue to train you and your people at your studio. And so this aligns with your grand opening, but again, just going through all of the things as part of your grand opening. Which you're probably wondering, okay, so there's all of these amazing things that exist, but how do I get clients? Because one of the things I can tell you guys is that saying, if you build it, they will come, is not true. If you build it and you follow the recipe, they will come. So this is where we have nailed down that amazing, if you follow these steps, you're just going to blow it out of the water. And this is where Vertica really stands out in the industry as far as having an actual strategy of how to bring people into the building, how to bring people into the program as clients instead of just hoping and praying that people show up. So there are 3 different stages, and let's go through those stages. So the first is your your pre-opening. So we have an amazing marketing team. It's an agency, and they've got all of the collateral. They're ready. Basically, you come onto a Zoom meeting with me and your agent, and they show you what they're going to do, and you give them a thumbs up. And then they go and deploy that into your market. So it's amazing. You do not have to learn all about the algorithm and how to make sure you're getting the right keywords or any of that kind of stuff. We've got that taken care of. And so you come on that meeting and we deploy into your market your foundation membership sales. And it's great. We try really hard to get you to that point to where you have pre-sold enough to where when you open your doors, you're super happy, if that makes sense. I don't know how many more numbers I can say. We have actual numbers. It's not super happy, but it is super happy, but that's not you guys know what I'm saying. We have actual numbers that we work to get you to of this is how many memberships we want you to sell. Oh, I do know that we say it because here it is. It's 100 members. We try and get you to 100 members as part of your grand opening. And that makes it so that you have a really successful foundation in your market, in your studio opening. Additional marketing that happens.
Katrina, we don't try to get you to 100. Nobody's opened with fewer than 100.
It's true, actually.
Do or do not.
That's good.
Yeah. So the expectation is you will open with 100 members. So thank you for that.
At least,
if not significantly more. In addition, your marketing for your grand opening will come out there. We will actually help with the running of your 101 classes. The 101, so it's called the V101. It's our trial class. I'm so proud of so many of the things that I've built. Honestly, I love all of the things that we've built, but the V101 is this thing that came about as part of my very intense work with Grant Cardone and Tony Robbins. And it was like, I know what to do. And I built the V101 class. And we then tested every single aspect of it. Like if we played this song versus this song, if we turn on the lights here versus here, if we do this versus this, and we tested everything and we came up with this winning strategy. And that's your V101 class. And so we will actually help you to run those V101 classes during your grand opening, making sure that you are just signing people up like crazy that week. Here's some of our collateral, some of the cute stuff from the grand opening. And then from your phase 2 is that first 90 days. We'll continue to do foundation memberships. We're going to start running that V101. That free class is what it is. It's a complimentary 101 class. And just continue to run those ads from the marketing agency. They go through the sales process and they sign up at the V101 class. There's some beautiful stuff here. And then the last phase is, okay, you've reached the benchmark that you're looking for, and now we're going to basically start raising prices. And so just gradual increases of prices for new memberships. You're not raising prices for your existing members, but you're starting to raise your prices. And we run a couple of different challenges like the V90 challenge. We also have special events, membership upgrades. We have seasonal promotions. So we've got it. Always, we've got social media. You're promoting your location specific groups. We do a lot of automations. I love all things AI. I'm in this amazing mastermind for AI. One of the head of AI for T-Mobile is in this mastermind, and the things that I'm learning are insane. So I just created a GPT for Vertica Fitness. If that means anything to you guys, I don't know. But anyways, so I love to geek out on that stuff almost as much as Sean does. But so we use tons of automations, texts, just some of that really beautiful stuff to make things happen really great and easily for your business. That was a lot of information. Do you guys have questions before I go on to the next part?
I have a quick question, and this may sound silly, but I kind of rage against social media, just personally.
I know it's, by the way.
Oh,
go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm so happy to hear you say that. Okay. I know it's important in today's world for advertising and things that we're doing, but and I'm not opposed to it from a business standpoint because I know it helps you with a business. It's just more raging against it personally, right? At the end of the day, I don't want to read any Facebook comments or any kind of, I mean, I'm just too busy and I need to decompress, right? So is there, in part of this training, can you help us if we come on board to be very professional at social media and what we need to do?
This is on one of the podcast episodes that I did, I tell this whole story about when all of my social media accounts were deleted and I did not get them back. And ever since that, I hate social media. Now, there are parts of it that I love because it helps us grow our business. And so it is necessary. But one of the things that I have purposefully built out for you guys is you guys don't have to become influencers.
Oh, good.
You know what I mean? Your business success is not dependent on you doing TikTok dances or something like that. Do you know what I mean? And so for those that love to do social media, rock on. But that's why we have the marketing agency. Most of our clients come through paid ads versus organic engagement. And so they take care of that for you on your social media pages. You're basically just resharing the content that the corporate is creating. And you can absolutely, we're going to talk about owner engagement next, but I would suggest for you, hire an admin and have them go through and check the social media.
That's a good idea.
if I can give you, I will give you lots of advice as you come through the business owner, the business success method and all of that. But one of the biggest piece of advice that I can offer is that the most important thing that you can bring to your business is your mindset. Tony says that success in business is 80% the owner, always. And it's the psychology of the owner. And so my point on that is that it is so important for you to protect your mindset at all times. And so I would actually love that if social media is something that is stressful for you, delegate it.
Mhm.
Delegate it. And that's
Good
also
tip.
why we built out the Vertica Circle network that came about during the time when all of my accounts were deleted, because I was like, it is not safe for us to have all of our stuff here. We need something that's private that we actually own. So
Mhm. Okay, thanks.
yeah, of course. Let's talk owner engagement. So for owner engagement, it is a little bit of choose your own adventure, as far as we do have some owners that want to be at their studio all the time. They want this to be something where they are fully engaged day and night. That's what they want. Then we have owners that kind of fit in the middle. We have owners like Caitlin who have a very full day job and kids, and they want this to be something that is supporting them financially. They want to be a part of the mission, but they don't want to have to eat, breathe, and sleep this every single second of their day. And then we are growing owners that are a little bit more like myself, where I am much more to almost the passive level of my business. I work all day, every day, but it's on the franchise. It's not in my studio. I have an amazing team that does the work here at the studio. So what we're looking for, though, on this chart is that in the beginning, even if you're coming in and trying to work towards that semi-passive, you're still going to have a lot of engagement. You need to do the work to set things up and to make sure your studio becomes successful. But then, especially as your membership really ramps up, you'll start hiring more people, you'll start delegating more people, and that owner engagement can really go down. And this is where this business is built with the intention for people who want to be able to open as many locations as they desire. I always say that Vertica is built to be like a Ferrari, right? In that it's meant to go fast and far and of course be sexy, right? But that would be our goal for any of you guys who want that, is to be able to open as many locations as you want, because you start hiring managers and setting things up where these businesses are, they're scalable, extremely scalable. It's a simple business plan where you just set things up and then you just start cookie cuttering it. So what are some of those daily and what are some of those engagements? What are some of those tasks? I won't read through all of this, but this is in a nutshell what happens in the business as far as from the administrative standpoint. Where I am now, I do some of the, I basically take care of my team and I run the books. That's what I do. So, it's a little bit of choose your own adventure. But I have people who do all of the daily and the weekly and many of the monthly things for me. And so I'm just coming in and checking on things and then making sure everything is set up for the year. Questions on this? The other thing is we actually have some amazing companies that we're not partnered with, but we can have as resources. So we have a company that handles, Nicole used them. They handled her entire pre-sale for her. And so she wasn't making phone calls. She wasn't having to do that. She just had a company do all of that for her. I also have just hired a VA. So we have a great company where if you want to have virtual assistants, we've got a lot of tools for that.
That's good.
Yeah. You can see some of you guys are like reading. Are we good?
I have a question on the business, the licensing, payroll, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's all kind of new for me. I get it conceptually, but I've never done payroll before, So how challenging is it to learn those new skills? And I always, for me, I get nervous when I start thinking about taxes. You screw up something with taxes, or your counting is off, and then the IRS is on you. So how challenging is it to pick those things up and do it right the first time?
Great question. And so this is in our operations manual. We walk you through each one of these different sections in addition to like, hey, make sure you do these things so that you stay legal. And so like that's on there for you. And so you can like literally, it's a checklist of like done, done, done. As far as the payroll goes, we do use QuickBooks Online. Could you use a different company for your payroll? Yes, but I would very, very highly suggest I would request that you use QuickBooks Online payroll. And then basically all you're doing is you're taking and you're saying, this person worked this many hours, this is their rate, and you press process. And they have, it's amazing. They will pay, they do all of that behind the scenes. And so this is where, do you have to work in your business? Yes, you do have to work in your business, but I want you working on your business. And so if there's things like payroll that are extremely tedious, pay the company to do that, pay QuickBooks to do that for you. Then they have some different assurance, like some guarantees as far as making sure that things are done correctly. And then this is the same thing. You want an accountant to run your taxes, and pay somebody to do those things, because that frees up your psychology and your brain space, your heart, to go and take care of your members, sign up more people, and make more money.
I have another quick question. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bill.
Oh no, I was just gonna tag in to that point with Bill. That's one of those things when you look at your onboarding, really that in parallel with site selection and getting that, it's all that business ownership 101 to get you dialed in and done right from the outset, and then helping recruit and hire your team, making sure that those things are integrated. And that's part of the training and support you get from us. So doing it right the first time and then in the long term is super straightforward to us, because we've done it a bunch of times with a bunch of owners. And again, I sort of piggyback on what Dennis has built. Great, we pay that forward and do it right with all of our Vertica owners, because it does. Boy, it looks like this like giant cliff that you got to mount, and if you're doing it on your own, it is. Versus with us, it's cool, A then B then C, and we're good to go. Again, I with Vera, cool. I got my CPAs in Roseville. We'll have you dialed in. Paul's awesome. It's just so nice to have
I'm
somebody
an
in my neck
accountant
of the
and
woods.
finance person, so I'm not worried about it.
You're going to be our finance person. Good. Okay, we're all going to call Vera.
Beautiful. Yeah. Any other questions
Sorry,
on
Diane, you had a
owner
question?
engagement?
Yeah, just a quick question, and it, goes back to what you were saying. I'm sure you can help us with all of this onboarding 101, but insurance for the studio, and have y'all had any major events with people falling or having any kind of bad injuries?
12-foot poles.
What'd you say?
Don't go over 12 feet on your poles. Insurance gets really expensive.
Yeah,
Okay.
so there are so many things that have gone into all of the decision making as far as why we do the things that we do. And that's one of the reasons why we don't have 16 or 18-foot poles or something like that, is the amount of danger at the taller poles is much greater. So long story short, do people fall from time to time? I mean, of course, but I mean, this is why we have worked into the curriculum where we're really big sticklers on it. Like, you can't go to level 2 until you've finished level 1. And so it's that idea. I mean, I give an example of like someone swimming, You know, if I were to put my child into the pool as an infant, that would be very, very bad. But I don't worry about my 17-year-old swimming because
Mhm.
now he's gone through the process and he's fine. Do I still take precautions to make sure that he's safe? Of course, which is why we have insurance and why we also use mats. Whenever there's new tricks and that kind of stuff, we've got some amazing mats that people are using. We also use spotters you saw in the videos, and like we take a lot of time to train the coaches. But the thing is that pole is self-limiting. And so when people aren't strong enough to do the hardest tricks, they're not doing them because they're not strong enough.
Right.
Right. And so by the time they're at that level, they're the 17-year-old in the pool. They're not the infant in the pool. And so, yeah, and we have insurance.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, so just this last, so just again, talking about that owner engagement, that is, like I said, that's our goal for you guys, is for you to be able to use this, just like the clients that come in and they use Pole to be able to get in great shape, create that body positivity, create that potential within their own lives. We want you guys to be able to use this business as a tool for your life, right? Each one of you guys has come onto this call with things that you're looking for. You want to be a part of something that you feel good about. You want to be able to take that control back. You want to be able to have that freedom back in your life. And we want you to use this business to be able to develop the lifestyle that you want, right? We want that empowerment for you in your life. So with that, would definitely invite all of you guys to take the next step. It's a little bit different for each of you, but would love to have you continue your journey on Vertica. And with that, I will turn it over for any questions you guys have.
I think kind of just a question on the continuous maintenance and calling and getting more people in the door. Like, I'm an introverted guy, like that sounds, I would much rather do the books and do taxes than constantly be calling people. Is that, is how outsourceable is that? And how
Completely.
much of our brand as the owner translates to getting people in the door?
Yeah, so it is completely something that you can delegate. And so this is where, again, you need to look at, as you're looking at pro forma and that kind of stuff, as far as, do you want to work in the business and then be able to take a bigger paycheck because of that? Or does it make more sense for you to hire people and then be able to just, in the end, you can have a much bigger paycheck by scaling, right? So just where people are in general. But long story short, hire somebody. And then if you have extra time, go and help them. If you want to grow more, hire another person, but hire somebody, and somebody who, and it's going to you'll probably change who that person is over time, and that's okay. And that's why if you want to use a company to help you with that, we've got some great companies. You can actually even use some VAs for some of that. But this is a people business. A little secret, Bill, is that I actually consider myself an introvert too. I love people so much and I believe in our mission and I love talking to people, but like I have to go home and decompress, and like it's a lot. And that's why when Sean and Dennis, I was like, hire Michelle. She loves to talk to people.
The truth of the matter is I'm an introvert too.
So I think,
No.
everybody, you are not. You're such a liar.
She's a
Yeah.
liar.
I like to be at home.
She's an
But you know
extrovert.
what? Having that, I just know how to turn it on really well. No, but the truth is having that admin on staff and making sure that you're hiring the right admin is going to just be a game changer with your day in and day out, because they can handle all of your customer service questions for you, right? Emails that are coming in from members or potential members, things like that. Having them there will really relieve 90% of that headache and those phone calls and things like that, allowing you to focus more on the business while they focus on the members.
We want you, if you want, again, this is like why I say it's choose your own adventure, because we do have owners who want to be in the studio all the time, and like we're okay with that if that's what you want. But we want for you to where you're running this business in a couple hours a week. That's what we want you to get to. And so, you know, we want you to know and obsess over your numbers, right? What gets measured gets improved. So I want you to obsess over your numbers. And I want you to know which levers to pull, which I do a whole like section of the training on how to pull different levers within your business to make different things grow. But we want you to know what levers to pull, and we want you to run your business. We want you to be a business owner. We want you to know what's going on and then make decisions for your business accordingly. And in order to do that, you're going to need to have somebody to help you with the day-to-day tasks. So yes, we very much suggest for everybody to hire that admin.
Another really great thing, you guys, about Vertica, if it's not just a like, okay, you bought our franchise, here you go, best of luck. The corporate team is here to help and support throughout the life of your business, right? To make sure you're being successful, and to really be there to help with questions if you have them as they come up. So you'll never be in a boat by yourself, right? And the other Vertica franchise owners too. It's just a big team and a big family where you'll really feel the support of the community of franchise owners and corporate with you. So we've got you.
For sure.
So I have a quick question. So you said you prefer open with about like 100 members, but also the class seems like have 6 to 8 polls, right? So you can take at one time you can take 6 to 8 people, correct? So how does
So
that...
we suggest more like 10 to 12 polls in a room. Yeah. And yeah.
A lot of the
If
classes you can put
6 to
2
8
people.
polls,
You can put 2
hold on,
people to a
Michelle.
poll in the majority.
We'll just talk over each other. But if I'm at 6 to 8 polls, it's a hobby. That's what we see out there. There's a lot of studios out there. It's a hobby. It's not a profit center, a real high generating. And then piggybacking on, sorry for talking over you, Michelle, was some of our classes are 1 per poll, and but a good chunk of them are 2 per poll. And I'll let Katrina and Michelle, our true athletes, speak to why would we do 2 per poll? Because nobody can do that whole thing for a full hour, honestly, back to back. But Katrina, can you have a few more bars on why we encourage the 2 per poll in some of those classes?
This is not something unique to Vertica. It is actually very prevalent within the poll industry to have multiple people to a poll per class. And it just really becomes a cool part of the culture where we actually have students that say they get a better workout when there's 2 people, because it's like, it's your turn, it's my turn, it's your turn, it's my turn. And like, there's much more structure because of that. And yeah, so Nicole has 15 polls. Caitlin has 13. I have 18 at the Tucson location. We want you to, like, 10 would, I would want you to have at least 10.
The minimum. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And then
Also,
basically
it is a better workout.
Yeah. And
You know,
all of the classes besides the flirt classes, which are those choreography classes, they can all be 2 to a poll.
I'm going to ask a nerdy question. So from I started my career as a chemist, and there's different crystalline structures, and the most efficient one is where there's it's staggered. So have you guys ever staggered the rows to maximize the space?
Yeah. Yeah, they are staggered. That is actually the preferred way.
Okay.
This studio has a slightly different build out because this studio has been here for 11 years. But it has a competition set up. So the poles right here, I don't know if you guys can see it. It has 2 poles that are, let me stop the share.
I just double clicked on your picture and then that got big. So.
Okay. So there's 2 poles right here that are 9 feet apart with no other poles around them. But I hold nationals in Tucson and we do major training for the national team here. You guys don't need that, but the rest of the poles are staggered. And then the nice thing about that also is they can see themselves well in the mirror because of that. So yeah. So yes, you are correct.
Hey,
Jimmy
Katrina,
thought
I'm
it was a
sorry.
nerdy question.
I'm gonna have to go and jump off. I've got people coming. So I want to thank you both, all of you, for this. It's been very interesting, and I definitely want to get with Sean and do the pro forma and visit with Nicole next week. So I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. So nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you again for your time.
Talk to you soon, Diane.
Okay, thanks, Michelle. I'll talk to you later. Okay, bye-bye.
I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Bill and Vera, if you guys have other questions, I'm happy to answer them. If not, we can.
No.
I think I'm good on my end. So
Okay.
now really appreciate everyone's time and engagement. I definitely had a lot of brass tacks questions swirling in my head, and I think this addressed everything that was top of mind for me. So really appreciate the details, and definitely want to keep moving forward. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bill, when you're
Very interesting.
ready, let me know and I can help coordinate that visit with you and Caitlin in San Diego if that's something that you're interested in doing. Just reach out, and then whenever you're ready, let's get together and brainstorm some good spots in Orange County. Since I met you the first time, I'm telling you, my brain has just been going a mile a minute. So let's talk.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think my schedule starts freeing up in July, and so I think that's probably when I would want to take a little trip down to San Diego. So
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah, and for both of you being Californians, I promise it's under review right now. As soon as we get the FTD out, I'll send it over to you. We'll go deeper into FTD questions, franchise agreement questions, certainly pro forma. We'll walk through the full financial model, really help you get your arms around what's it look like to open with. And we don't stay at 100. It's like, what's Nicole at now? She's been open, what, 4 months? 3 months?
She
Not even.
opened with 152, but she's way past that
He's
now.
at
Open your
250.
doors.
Yeah. And, so how do we grow? How do we retain memberships, continue to grow year after year? And we'll do that deeper dive. And again, I apologize. It's just the franchise world. I'm locked down to California Department of Business Oversight rules on disclosing. I'll send you a sneak peek on how to get it elsewhere, but I can't formally disclose you. So it's all good. I want to help you be really well informed, do the visits. And Vera, by all means, if you want to go to SoCal or go to Tucson, come see it in action. Since you've already done poll, come and check it out. Gosh, it's always awesome when we have a poller on the session.
Do we have anywhere closer to us, any location? Like
Katrina, talk about your
Soon.
visit. They won't be open soon, but fairly soon. Tell her where you were this week.
Yeah, so we were, I think we picked a location for both Oakland and then in Livermore. So they have to go through the lease negotiations and then, of course, build out. But we have 2 coming right there to that area.
Nice.
That'd be cool. So, yeah, awesome. And but Michelle and I will stay in touch. If you guys have any other questions afterwards, we're here to help and do disclosure, pro forma, and then we'll schedule a follow-up session directly with one-on-one session with Katrina as well. And want to encourage you to do validation calls, talk to our owners. We've built an amazing team. We surround ourselves by amazing people and are growing something pretty amazing together.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Well, thank you all. Enjoy the
Bye,
rest
you
of the day.
guys. Nice to see
Bye,
you.
guys.
Bye bye. Nice to see you
Thanks.
too. Bye.
Bye.